Hi, we are ready to start mechanical design class, and I'm Margaret, and here we are at mechanical design class. So by now, you guys are kind of old hands at mechanical drafting, and by that I mean you have had a mechanical drafting class. You know what the basic rules are, you've made some drawings, so now we're going to take that level of skill and knowledge, just take it to a little bit more professional level in this class. So you could almost call this Mechanical Drafting Part 2 if you wanted to. This picture that you see at the top of the class happens to have what you call geometric dimensioning and tolerancing in it. That's what these symbols are and some of these boxes. And we'll be looking at geometric dimensioning and tolerancing in the last half of the term. Let us just work our way through. We'll look at the syllabus first. I don't think there's anything new particularly. I mean, you've been around this block before, haven't you? As usual with my classes, it says there's a required textbook, but that's not true. It's not really required. You can buy it if you have somebody funding you, like financial aid, or, I don't know, a wealthy relative. If you're paying your own way, you absolutely do not need this book. It's really expensive, and I will give you everything you need. This is the same book that we used in mechanical drafting class, if you happened to have the book then, and we use it for electrical drafting and machine elements next term too. But anyway, it's not required. Flash drive, make sure that you have a reliable way of backing up your drawings, because you're going to be doing a lot of drawings this term. You really want to save copies of everything you do, and not just save them someday. You want to save copies right away. Like as soon as you finish working on something, save it, of course, and then save it to your backup. I think I have a flash drive and an external hard drive. So I have and another computer. So I have 3 places I save backups, because stuff can happen to computers and drives. You'll need just a real simple calculator. You could even use the one built into the computer if you want to. We'll look at why in just a second when we look at the schedule. Cruising down through the syllabus. Here's the usual stuff that by now you're really familiar with. And the usual contact information for Cheryl or other advisors. You really should stay in touch with her. And just a reminder to you how seriously I take the idea of challenges and learning differences. And I hesitate to call these disabilities, but learning differences. If you need help with anything, just let me know. I'm here to help you. Now, let's go look at our schedule, which is right here. It's in the usual traditional Excel spreadsheet. So here is why we need a simple calculator. In this first week here, we're going to do just some real simple design thinking about sizes and shapes and how might we figure something out with basic arithmetic. And I will step you through the questions on the quiz, so do not worry about that. But you do need a calculator to figure it out on your own. And then, where are we? In week 5, we're going to look at how would you figure out bend allowance if you were making a drawing for bending some plate or some sheet metal. How much extra do you need to allow for the bend? Because it does stretch. Stretches and shrinks. We're going to look at how to figure that out. And again, this is simple arithmetic, but you do need a calculator. What else do I want to say? Notice that there are a lot of drawings. And when you first look at this schedule, you might say, oh my gosh, there's just drawings all the way through the term. This is horrible. But actually, what you can't tell by looking at this is that we have front-loaded the first half of the term with some more complex drawings. The last half of the term, when we are talking about GDT, geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, these drawings are super, super simple. They are like, you know, a square with some circles and put some symbols on it. They will go really fast. And notice, whereas the other drawings early in the term were 20 or 30 points each, these little guys at the end are 10 points each. So it looks like a lot, but it's not really. Try to get your drawings done as soon as you can so that you can turn them in, which means send them to me, and then I will look at them and I will make comments for you and send them back to you, which is the same thing as a red line drawing at work. It's just we're doing it on the computer. So I will send comments back to you. You can then incorporate those comments and do revisions to your drawings, submit them again, and we can keep doing this process more than once until we get a drawing that looks correct. If you wait until the end of the term, of course, we won't have time to do that. So you want to get these in as soon as you reasonably can so that you have time to get feedback and fix things up. The quizzes, like in all my classes, the quizzes do not have due dates either, and you can do them more than once. They have, what do they call it? Unlimited attempts is what they call it. So you can enter your answers, and if it says an answer is wrong, you can go back and try again. All right, what else do I want to say? Oh, yes. So I wanted to say something about the schedule. We are taking our drafting skills to a more professional level, and one of those skills that you have not done yet, I think, is setting up your own drawing with your own text styles and dimension styles and leader styles and your own layers with its attributes. So you're going to make your own title block this term, and that's why when you look at the Moodle course, you do not see a title block for this class. That's because you get to make your own this time. And here we are in the second week. I provide you some guidelines and some suggestions, and then you can make your own. Our employers, local employers, tell us that they want people to be able to work with setting up their own title blocks and adapting to the company style and so on and so forth. So that's why we're doing this. What else do I want to say? Another professional skill we'll look at is how to create bills of material and enter part numbers in them. And a bill of material is a parts list. What parts are included in this thing that you drew? Every company has their own part numbering system. Whatever company you go to work for, they will have some kind of database with a list of here are the numbers we use for half-inch bolts. Here are the numbers we use for quarter-inch plate, and so on and so forth. We're pretending that we work for this company here, mechanical design class, and in this pretend company, here is the part number system that we use for this company, for this class. And so that's why this spreadsheet is here. You will use this spreadsheet to look up part numbers so you can put them in a bill of material. What else? Back to this, I keep boinging back and forth. Back to the schedule now. In the last half of the term, we are going to look at various flavors of tolerances. So we'll start with just plus minus tolerances, and then we'll look at, well, how do you figure out what size of plus minus tolerances to put on? That's a set of standards called clearances and fits. And a company who is really good at clearances and fits is Lego. You know those plastic blocks with the bumps on them that you stick together and you build things? Well, think about it. If their tolerances are too loose, the blocks won't stick together. If their tolerances are too tight, you won't be able to get them apart. So they have to be within a narrow range, just right. What is that range, and how did they do that? So I thought you might be interested in digging into that. Not required, but I put an extra credit, a short extra credit assignment here in week 7. Let's go down to week 7. Here at the end of week 7 is this research extra credit, only if you want to. It's not a lot of points, but do it if you would like to. And it just says, dig into how Lego does what they do, and tell us about it, either with a short PowerPoint or a short written paper. And if you choose to do that, then we can share those in our Google Shared Drive. What is our Google Shared Drive, you might ask? Well, you probably know already, but I'm going to pretend like you don't and tell you. So here at the top of our Moodle class is a video about how to find and use the Google Shared Drive. And the reason for that is that once this term is done, you will not have access to Moodle or to this class in Moodle anymore. And what if you want to go get some resources? Well, I have put into a Google Shared Drive, it's called Drafting Courses, I have put all the materials for all the drafting classes. Here is our mechanical design class with our part number list, our syllabus and spreadsheet. We've got our assignments. We've got our lectures, including the PowerPoints and links to the YouTube videos in case you would like to go watch the video again. And then if you decide to do research on Legos, we can drop whatever you've come up with in here. And I just want to say, more than one person, hopefully more than one person will want to research Legos. And that is totally cool because each person will find different kinds of interesting facts. And each person will find different kinds of pictures or videos, and each person will find different, will maybe come at it in a different way. So the more, the better, in my opinion. All right, so that's the Google Drive. And the only other thing to say is to remind you that the very first week of the term, you have to do this introduction forum. You have to complete that. I'm going to click on it here. By the end of the week, by which I mean by the end of Sunday, you have to get that done and, post your comments so that the college does not accidentally drop you administratively. And I'm looking forward to having conversations on that forum. So there you go. I hope you have a good term and stay in touch.